Jay Cutler, 2006, versus Derek Lunsford, 2023. In both cases, it is their very first ever Olympia win. Very interesting comparison. You guys voted on this one, part of your You Pick Whing 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 Tuesday lineup. Get it up to 500 likes, please. That's all I ask. And I will do the remaining requests. I would love to see that Samir Banu one. Marcus Rule versus Lee Labrada? Wow. Horace MD also versus James Hollingshead. I would love to do all of them. So tickle that thumbs up button. 500 likes, guys. Here is the front relaxed position. And this matchup is there's no medium. There's either fans for Jay, he's winning no matter what, or there is fans for Derek Lunsford saying there is aspects about him that Jay cannot touch, so it is hands down a Derek Lunsford win. And there's probably more people saying Jay's going to win. So I have to make heads or tails of this. Structurally speaking, symmetry round, things of that nature, Jay Cutler is going to run roughshod over Derek Lunsford, except for that tiny little wee waistline. Derek, if he can... Oh, here is the front double. If Derek can employ that little waistline like he is doing here in the front double, he can get a victory against Jay Cutler. But I do not see it in the front double. Jay, his wheels are very massive here. They're striated. He's got feathering all over the place. Slightly unsymmetrical for both guys in the legs, I would suggest. The arms, well, at least one of the arms anyway. Jay Cutler, he's got some nice peaky biceps. Derek, he's got full arms. They don't suck. They're full arms. But he lacks the peaky, freaky biceps. Man, that waistline. The lats, believe it or not, I'd probably go with Jay. No suspects there. Not suspect at all. So, sing. And I'm not picking on Derek. I haven't before, and I'm not going to start now. Here's the front lat spread, and I think it is a Jay Cutler matchup. It's a Jay Cutler game. He had some thin skin here in 06, boys, oh boys. Enough to defeat Coleman? Are you kidding me? So right out of the chute, the Colemanites are going to be in favor of Jay. A lot of detail there. Slightly flatter in the chest, maybe, for Derek, but he has improved this shot tenfold. I even removed the old gray, blurry background underneath of his lats there, so you can actually see the guy was packing heat in this shot. Doesn't suck. Might have been not the best back in, say, 2021, 22, but here, looks pretty good. Here is the side chest, and like I said, Jay Cutler here in 06, he meant business. As a whole, this may be his best version. No big flashy front shots. They're good. They're good. But here in the side, look how stacked he was. Those delts. Jay Cutler, if you never realized, he has some of the best delts. Some of the biggest delts in all of bodybuilding. He was standing next to Coleman, Marcus Rule all the time, so didn't really notice. Look at those wheels of Jay, too. Huh? Now, Derek, here is where the Lunsfordites are going to say, see, he has thinner skin. From the side, glutes, hamstrings, yeah, I'd be inclined to believing that. But still, here's the side tricep. Still, Jay is a house. Look at those abs. Not the best in, say, that like the history of bodybuilding, but for his time, like, say, the middle of the 2000s, 2006, where this is, he probably did have one of the best midsections. And Jay Cutler was never accused of a bubble, double, triple trouble. Maybe not the most narrow waist like Derek has, but dare I say, he's keeping his midsection more in check. And for a guy like Jay Cutler who did have a wider waistline, you can see that. He's thicker. He always sucked it in, and in a pose like this, he does have the better midsection. You could almost hear my a native Canadian accent when I said pose. Up there in the pose, up there in Canada, here's the back shots. Isa Beelzebub. This is where the Lunsfordites, they probably fast forward right to this shot and the rear double. We'll see in a minute. The condition, yeah, come on, guys. Derek Lunsford, looks fake. The glutes, the ridges, things of that nature, the hard crispness. Now, Jay, he's in the lineup here. It's not a very good shot. He does have a bit of a frosty bottom. It's a little bit sog. You know. You're not going to be able to slice and dice carrots. You could take a carrot on Derek's buttocks and go and make those little flat, little wheel carrots. Oh, those are good sometimes. If you like carrots, if you're into that. But either which way, guys, come on. Now, the rear double, this is a better shot. And this is what I was saying. I wasn't padding the account of Jay Cutler by saying it was a bad picture. It was. You can see he's flexed here. And it's not frosty, it's not soggy, it's Derek Lunsford, maybe 4 weeks out. You know what I'm saying? There's no way you can argue and say Jay Cutler's drier than Derek Lunsford. He is, however, more impressive in the lower half as far as the wheel size, things of that nature, and in the upper back looks good. Derek is so wide, and we've seen that against guys like Big Rammy. I mean, monsters. Derek's just as wide. So structurally speaking, I might have bit my tongue there at the start saying, structurally speaking, Jay was better. So the back shots, no argument, guys. Here is the abs and thigh. And somebody's going to say, this one doesn't count. Well, if it does, I still might give it to Jay. Jay is just glass. Thin skinyards. And for those of you who count this one and this one only, Jay's still getting a victory in the abs and thigh, I would suggest. So the front shots, I don't think that there is an argument. I don't think that, well, here the most muscular. It's an even worse beating than the abs and thigh. I think Jay Cutler, underrated. I think underrated for sure in certain shots. When he employs the tactics of those abs, chest, great big man's chest, when he tosses in the delts, and Derek is no Tinkerbell in the delts, but Jay, I mean, come on, look at those things. And when he also employs the tactics of the quads, the feathering, there can be no argument. Jay Cutler wins hands down. But then when you look at the back shots, the condition, things of that nature, guys, come on. Judges are going to, well, one more shot here, and this one does Derek Lunsford a favor. That other picture that I used before of Derek, I apologize to this fine man, this fine young Buckingham Palaces, baby please, papa. But is it enough? Is it the 2 back shots enough? Realistically, those were the only ones Derek was winning. So I'll be honest. If a judge just so happens to watch these to make fun of them, things of that nature, I think you guys would give it to Derek. I think you guys would give it to Derek based on the condition. And hey, maybe that's fair. But in an good old-fashioned Marks Max Muscle picture comparison, I like Jay a little bit better. 2006, ring-a-ding-ding. He is your moral victor here with, like I said, a little epithet there. More realistic winner. But all in all, guys, gals, everybody in between, Jay, he was much more impressive from the front side. And, yeah, the most musculars, things of that nature. And he beat Ronnie King Coleman. And I do not want the Colemanites after me. The Lunsfordites. Hey, say what you will. He's good. Jay Cutler. I mean, hey, he was good too. But he was also quite big. What are you doing? How about subscribing to my channel, please? And if you're bored, if you're in the mood, you can check out my latest video. It is a good one. And there's a whole bunch of videos in this playlist all stacked together. So, you can watch every pose. Another one over here too. 1, 2, 3, diddly dee.